you don't document that in a how-to book. If you're going to document it, you refer to the studies at the end in the end notes. You with me?
Yes.
Because that's why it's important to know what the audience for the book is.
So what comes to mind is a couple of years ago going out with an acquaintance who was really big in the ACT UP movement in New York and AIDS, and quite a name in that, and survived AIDS. He's not HIV positive. And in dinner, he told me that the major problem, without me bringing it up, told me the major difficulty he has is captured by porn, and that he's seen a addiction person and all this. And I said, well, I have a strategy, and I don't even have to go into it, but I recommend watching Standing Up to see what a difference that'll make. And he just kind of chuckled. And I saw him months later, and I said, by the way, did you ever try standing up watching porn? He says, nah. And so what hit me is that there doesn't seem to be a gravitas to this. It seems so flippant or something. Just stand up. So I don't know that we need scientific proof, but some motivation, something to assist in the trust of the process. That's what I didn't push this a lot, but I just said try standing up. I found this very effective. And even after the second time I said it, there's not an interest. And I've thought of this when the website's up and this comes out and there's more and more people coming forward. He'll go, God, I heard about this years ago.
Why didn't I do that?
And it's so simple. So my approach to this, by the way, is try it 10 times. Masturbate 10 times standing up, various times, and in 10 times you will feel in your body the benefits or not benefits for you. I think that's as far as I've gone.
What about 3 times?
Oh, and then I've changed it on my website. I said 3 times, and as you go on, I changed it on my website.
Because 3 times is something that someone's willing to do without having to commit.
Yep, I had 10 times, and I went through my website before it's going up and changed 3 or more times, something like that. Because if they do it 3 times, 1 time is, you're just trying it out. But if you do it 3 times, you're right. If you can feel it, yeah. But anyway, that's been my only verifiable. So the very first kid, I told you this story before, but the very first kid, he was a kid at the time, in his early 20s. He was Annie Sprinkle. He was looking at Annie Sprinkle's website, got sent to my website, because he was in theater and he saw porn yoga. So he contacted me 10 years ago, and I was advertising coaching. He says, I like coaching. He's from Brazil. So I did 10 sessions with him. That's it. And it was very interesting. I did a very low fee because at the time I wanted to learn. I was learning. And 4 years later, I'm going to Canada to teach sexological bodywork, and he's enrolled in the Canadian training. 2 years later, he's enrolled in the coaches training. 2 years later, he and somebody else are starting an institute in Brazil in sexological bodywork. He went to graduate school as a sex therapist, which is different from an academic degree, and now he's getting a master's degree, which is a separate degree, but he's already a sex therapist. And he had no intention of getting involved in education, but it was the somatic. He's writing a thing right now, he told me, he's writing something up on it, about when his body awoke, he understood this process and the importance of sex. So this is, it could be, what it is it's an entryway into feeling your body. And the benefits there, health benefits, because you get to feel when you're not doing well and when you're doing well. And what my latest thing about it, I don't know if I've ever, the word enoughness, that if you're attuned with your body tells you this is enough. Mm-hmm. In study, running, eating, drinking, anything. Your body goes, this is enough if you pay attention. Mm-hmm. And that is crucial for living. Mm-hmm. Enough or not enough. Not enough sleep. I mean, the opposite's true. So I think that enoughness and not enoughness is very important. And this is an entryway into that. So the waking up of the somatic self, however it happens, it's always a dynamic. It's not, I'm now awake, but it's a process. But that's, I think, one of the major benefits here is benefits in other areas, which is in the EndNote materials. I'd actually not. I think the idea of an awareness, the playing off of disembodiedness of our lifestyle today, of being in the ether and with attention not on the body versus attention on the body. So this is a major way we bring attention back to our body, and that carries over to sex and other places.
Okay, hold that thought.
Okay.
I'm gonna pee, and then
Good.
Then I want to actually work on outlining, because the way you talk sends me in too many directions.
Me too. That's why I'm hiring you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so why don't you think, I think it'd be a good way to ask this question. What I'd like to know is if I were a reader / user, meaning no one's going to read this book to read the book, right? So I've kind of turned myself over to you to be educated through the book that you've given me. What is the right sequence of experience for me? And how do you know it's the right sequence?
Uh-huh.
And you've got, I think, intuition out the yin yang about this. You know, like you were going to teach a 5-week class with real people, not virtually. You know, you bring them in. You're going to teach them how to do this. Where would you start them? What would you take them to next? What would be after that? What would be more advanced? And so on.
Okay, this is something that I have done in online and taught in sexological bodywork courses, so I have to decide where to start, etc.
Right.
And one of the things your book on regenerative development gave me